Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, Magnetic Reversal News, Sacred Geography, and Shinrin Yoku, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Monday, November 27th, 8 p.m. Mountain Time 2023. A plasma filament ejected just 24 hours ago is headed our way. Could be low-level geomagnetic storms, but nothing to worry about as Greenland breaks new all-time records in surface mass gain. 11 gigatons in a single day. Keep calm, it's boom time. Massive cross-country storm throws post-Thanksgiving travel into chaos with more than 3,300 flights delayed. Millions of Americans could see the coldest air of the season as the deep freeze moves across the U.S. Here is a scene in Buffalo, New York as more snow is headed their way. Here is the snowfall analysis from the last 72 hours, and you can see the track of that storm, leaving the most impact here in the South San Juans, moving east, dumping heavy snow in Kansas, a little bit of heavy snow in northern Michigan, and in just the last 24 hours, the heaviest snow happening here in the Northeast, Vermont, upstate New York, and more is coming. Cold air to continue, heavy lake effect snow across the Great Lakes. And here you can see those watches and warnings out. As cold air ushers in across the Great Lakes, heavy lake effect snow will continue across this area through Wednesday. The heaviest snow totals are expected downwind of Lakes Erie in Ontario, where up to 2 feet will be possible, especially south of Waterton. Winds will also be gusty, causing snow to blow, making travel very difficult. High temperatures across these areas will also be just 10 to 20 degrees below normal, and that will be frigid. Let's take a quick look at the snowfall progression as we move through the week. Through Tuesday morning, you can see that lake effect train there moving that heavy snow into western New York. That's going to continue through Tuesday into Wednesday morning. There are the snowfall totals. Most of it lake effect. Sparse snow moving all the way down to Snowshoe in West Virginia. Here is the rest of Wednesday into Thursday as a system. Friday morning will begin moving into the northwest here. But take a look at these snow totals all the way down in the desert southwest of Arizona and New Mexico. Good news there. Here is your Friday forecast. Look at that. Heavy snow moving into Washington, Oregon, even the Sierras and Nevada as more snow comes into our neck of the woods, the southern Rocky Mountains. And day after day through the weekend, here is all the way through Monday morning, heavy snow totals throughout the Rocky Mountains and more snow in the plains. And this brings us over to Greenland's surface mass budget at the Polar Portal, where you can see huge gains of ice in Greenland over the last 24 hours. In fact, this is a record day, record-breaking day, over 4 gigatons higher than any day in recorded history. A similar event occurred in mid-October, breaking all records and actually breaking the scale here, moving past 12 gigatons. Today is no different. For November 26, actually yesterday, the gain was over 10 gigatons, approaching 11. A new record in Greenland as the mainstream continues to spout lies about Iceland's catastrophic loss, well, of ice, which is absolutely not happening. Now, at least 3 killed as storms hit Russia, Ukraine's Black Sea coast as well. There was a blizzard there in Ukraine. Hundreds of thousands of people without power as fierce storms devastate infrastructure in the region. Seismic update, no quakes of note. Most recent, a frac quake in Oklahoma. We did have a big rumbler just a few hours ago, M6.5 in Papua New Guinea at a depth of 8 kilometers. No tsunami warning and maybe very little damage here. Let's take a look. Is this offshore? Yeah, there's actually probably some rumbling here on the coast. Could be some damage to homes, but they are quite used to that type of activity in Papua New Guinea. Overall, no other quakes of note. Hawaii has been quieting down as well. But Krakatoa, not so much. A big paroxysm and explosive activity over the last 48 hours continues with a puff today, continuing eruptions from the cinder cone. And Ruapehu, or Rapeu volcano in New Zealand. A sequence of small earthquakes now been detected as the crater lake is slowly heating due to runoff. But this also could be due to magmatic activity. So we'll keep a close eye on this seismic uptick at Rapehu. Take a look here. Nevado de Ruiz to 22,000. Popo to 21. Take a look at this. Iwo Jima volcano, now 2 islands, spreading out in a heart shape here. As they say, a V-shaped island. I like to think a little bit more heavenly. Fuego to 15,000. Semaru to 14,000. Santo Guito to 15. Krakatau continuing with that volcanic ash to 7,000 feet. And really no other quakes of note, which is good news, as Iceland residents remain in a holding pattern as the volcano eruption threat decreases slightly. And what do we mean by that? Well, the magma that's placed in this sill is now cooling. Even though it is the largest magma dike in place, that doesn't mean it has to erupt anytime soon. And in fact, if cooling has prevented it from coming to the surface, it will take a whole nother magmatic intrusion to make this baby blow. That would take an entire seismic swarm to happen once again. So we're keeping a close eye on the peninsula here for a second seismic swarm, which would initiate the next eruption. Space weather news for today. It appears as if some of these sunspots has been picking up, and we've had a plasma filament release earlier today. The filament located in the southwest quadrant lifted off beginning at 5 UTC. And let's take a quick look at the video here coming from Solar Ham. Oh, I had it lined up. So we'll take a quick look at here from GOES 18 composite 304 angstroms. Take a look at the filament down on the bottom here, and it will eject as we move through the sequence there. Do you see that? And it's moving mostly south and away. So let's just replay that for you. There is that filament eruption. And the models, they do have it potentially coming our way. Let's take a quick look at ISWA here. And here we can see the filament coming out here and a glancing blow to the right. Nothing significant here coming from ISWA. That moves us over here to the WSA Enlil spiral. Usually a little higher resolution coming. You can see it late on the 27th here, that filament ejecting out. And in fact, a glancing blow also on the WSA Enlil spiral. Could see low-level geomagnetic storms as we head into December. A December to remember. Mark my words. It's going to be fantastic, folks. Now take a look at this. Nature's surprise. Plants might be able to absorb more CO2 than expected. Well, who could have thunk it? CO2 is plant food, and it's such a small fraction of a trace gas that people are calling greenhouse gases that it couldn't possibly affect the climate. In fact, it is a response to the climate and the temperature. Now, moving on to more significant and important scientific finds, let's talk about Gunung Padang. Now, what I love the most about Gunung Padang in Indonesia is the fact that it's not only a megalithic site, but it predates anything that mainstream archaeology is willing to accept, which means it literally throws a brick into all of mainstream archaeology and mainstream historical thinking, which is a good news because we all know that there have been ancient civilizations that predate anything in the last 7,000, 8,000 years that mainstream archaeology wants you to believe is the dawn of civilization. And well, I'm also going to blow your mind real quick in just a moment. Gunung Padang is been built in a series of constructions, and with new dating techniques and new scientific analysis, it could date back as far as 27,000 years ago, when interesting paleo art was being painted on caves worldwide. And we have good examples in Europe with Lascaux and other caves with amazing Paleolithic art. So the Paleolithic peoples that were living in the world were far from dumb hunter-gatherers. They were, in fact, advanced archaeologists or advanced astronomers and artisans. Not only that, engineers and builders. Because the advanced megalithic site at Gunung Padang is now dating potentially to 27,000 years ago. And it's a fantastic and shocking discovery that we are going to repeat over and over again. Gunung Padang has long been considered an ancient and holy site, but researchers weren't quite sure what to make of it until more detailed studies of the area began in the last 2 centuries. And what they've uncovered is spectacular. And more than that, it's very telling. The shape alone of these mound structures with the flat top is very reminiscent of the Mississippian culture in North America, which lasted over the last 5, 6, maybe even longer, 7,000 years. Archaeologists don't do it enough justice, but the mound builders have been in North America for thousands of years, and that is a fact. Similar structures from the Mayans and the Mayan cities of Tikal, and some of the Mayan structures have a very similar morphology and shape. But this is more indicative of the mound builders in North America and the city of Cahokia, where the mound had been built over a series of thousands of years. In fact, some of the mounds in North America date as old as 11,000 years, which would put it right in the center here of Unit 3 at Gunung Padang. Now, take a look at the cross-section of this flat-top mound, which is mostly earthen with megalithic parts. And it's almost a fusion between the Mayan pyramids, which are all rock, and the mound builders, which were all soil. Here's an example of Mississippian mounds built over eons. And they have the exact same structure of Gunung Padang. And they date, well, all the way back to the flood. Yeah, to the Younger Dryas event. And I bet you similar wattle and daub structures were on the top of Gunung Padang at one time, with a little bit of rock mixed in. Mind-blowing as it may seem, the paradigm of archaeology is being rewritten before your very lives in just a very short period of time. This is called the quickening, when information is pouring in faster than it can be analyzed. But what we now know is that, well, advanced civilizations date back at least 27,000 years, thanks to the good work happening in Indonesia. And, well, similar advanced technologies and advanced civilizations were here in North America just a few thousand years ago. Now, you better get out and look up tonight. Almost everyone in North America can go out and see this phenomenon unless it's cloudy, and that's the full beaver moon or the hunter moon. It shines full and bright tonight. It is absolutely bright outside. It's the next to last full moon of 2023. Now, the beaver moon will appear between the horns of Taurus, the bull. The penultimate full moon of 2023 will shine Monday, November 27th, in the form of the beaver moon. From New York City, the full beaver moon will rise at 3:48 p.m. It came up here just at sunset. And everyone tonight listening to me in North America can get out and look up at the full beaver moon. Now, good question. Why did Google Maps alter and effectively erase the street grid pattern anomaly from the seafloor by the Azores, 600 miles west of the Canary Islands, exactly where the Egyptians, via Plato, claimed the capital of Atlantis was located? You can still see it, but it's been muted completely from the original. And good news, Ashton Forbes and his amazing videography with here, and the potential MH370 photograph of extraterrestrial vehicles or maybe advanced technology coming from our government, sending this plane into a wormhole. They are now offering $145,000 reward for anyone, if this is a hoax, to come forward with the hoaxed video. This is getting serious, and it is completely fantastic. The MH370 conspiracy theory well, is becoming a reality. There is no one that has been able to debunk this. And watch it. Watch what happens after it comes out of the cloud here. Right before it gets to the... Watch what happens here. Goodbye. Absolutely fascinating. So if you created this hoax, $145,000 guaranteed is waiting for you. And many important people are now contacting Ashton Forbes for... He's going to be doing some of the most important podcasts. Hopefully we can get him back on the show in a week or so as things develop. And as things have developed as far as the culture war, we're winning. Have you seen this? Jeremy Boring has come out with an amazing movie. Now, Hollywood won't make a movie like this about how laughably absurd it is that now they allow grown men to call themselves women and dominate in women's sports. This movie, if it was on the big screen, I believe would make more money than Barbie. What do you think?
In a world where women's sports is being transformed, the Daily Wire calls foul with the most triggering comedy of the year.
Guys, this is serious. Sports can be your pathway to a better life.
Well, like yours?
Please don't steal my catalytic converter again. Winning matters. It's the key ingredient in becoming a winner.
Maybe you should try it sometime. Are you gonna move?
I am not.
Let's cut to the chase. I know you're not a woman.
Hey, you know how he identifies.
If you can beat them,
What do you know about the U.S. Opens for the Global Games?
You want us to compete as women. $5,000 prizes.
My lover says you were a great coach back in the day.
join them.
This is the way the world is now. My 8-year-old daughter told me all about it. So a guy can become a girl with no physical changes at all.
Oh, that's called gender fluid.
So I can be a woman on the court and a man in the bedroom. I can't believe it. Nice!
You mean when you're sleeping?
Yes.
Coach,
Alex,
we could play basketball.
We'd have to get the whole team back together.
It's time
we're in.
I'm in.
I'm in.
to play
Lady Balders.
Man up.
like a girl.
That's right. I'm with her. Believe in my truth. This is my truth.
From heroes
Day one of being a girl athlete. I love being a girl.
to sheroes.
We could dominate every woman's sport. Running, swimming, soccer. I said sport, Felix!
It's ladies basketball, boys. Nobody watches.
Excuse me. Are these seats open?
Never mind.
Getting dunks. And tucking trunks.
No, she didn't. That's the biggest I've ever seen on a lady.
I don't care.
Lady ballers.
One can even be trans age now, which provides Sheelix with a wonderful opportunity to relive all the experiences that she missed out on in school.
Streaming exclusively on Daily Wire Plus December 1st.
And that's a boom to knowledge. Please share this video as we are shadow banned. We want to welcome our 400 subscribers that have joined us over the last 24 hours. Because of that red Sprite lightning that we shared, we hit the algorithm. Very rare, and we appreciate all of your support. I hope you enjoy the podcast, and being a new subscriber, please hit the thumbs up. It helps with the algorithm. We love you. Be safe. And that is a boom.